Hey guys, it's Adi here for Geek on Gadgets, and this is our review of the LG G3 Beat. So the G3 Beat, or G3s, is one of LG's takes on bringing some of the G3's key flagship features to a lower price point. So you can get the G3 Beat for about $300, $350, which is a lot more affordable than the G3 itself, which can retail up to $600 depending on where you're at. So it brings some of the really cool key features such as the laser autofocus, the rear buttons, and the LG knock code, which you can use to wake your phone. So how well did LG do bringing these features down to a lower price point? For starters, the screen on the LG G3 Beat is a 5-inch screen, slightly smaller than the G3's 5.5-inch screen, but it also comes with a lower resolution, clocking in at 720p instead of the QHD display or 2K display on the G3. Now, of course, that might seem like a bit of a drop, but the G3 screen is one of the best screens I've ever seen. I mean, you don't feel like it's 720p, and it's almost impossible to see pixels unless you really focus on them. So, there's no worries about the screen being subpar quality. In fact, it's one of the better screens I've seen, and I think it could even pass for some higher-end device screens. The body of the G3 Beat has the same metal polished plastic on the back, which makes it look really nice and feel quite nice, but I mean, I honestly used it with the quick circle case most of the time, which is also quite thin that it doesn't add enough bulk to make it disturbing. Either way, the phone gives a nice grip. It's not too slippery, but it does feel nice and gives it a premium feel to it, even though I don't see the problem with going full-on plastic as long as it's good durable plastic. No need to pretend it's metal. The buttons on the back are excellent, especially when I have my phone in my pocket in the gym or some other place where it's difficult to pull out. I can easily adjust the volume by just quickly tapping on my side of my pocket instead of fumbling with the side of the phone trying to find the power key or volume key. However, one feature I felt didn't scale down properly from the G3 was the rear buttons combination for taking a screenshot. Now on the G3 and the G3 Beat, to take a screenshot, you press the middle button and the volume down button. However, on the smaller body G3 Beat, it is actually quite difficult to press this combination, especially on the go. So for example, if you're in Snapchat or just really need to take a thing real quick, it's really difficult to apply both fingers and press them down. So it's kind of awkward. I mean, I'm sure it feels better on the G3, which has larger buttons and a larger body, but as mentioned, it is quite awkward on the G3 Beat. One feature I did miss on the G3 Beat, and it's a feature that actually made me feel like I was using a low-end device rather than a mid-range device, was the fact that it does not have an auto brightness sensor. Instead, you have to manually toggle the brightness all the time, and since I'm used to auto brightness kicking in every time I step outdoors, it made it really annoying. Instead, I just usually kept it on 100%, even though it burned my eyes at night. The camera on the G3 Beat is pretty awesome. The laser autofocus on the back helps take focus almost instantly and helps really focus on the small details, especially when taking close-ups. So I had no problem taking really high quality shots of close-up images. However, the images did lack a certain amount of quality and details when zoomed in completely. Another issue was the capture time. As you can see here, it takes quite a while to take capture sometimes. Sometimes it's instant, sometimes it takes up to 5 seconds between shots, and that's almost ridiculous. The front-facing camera on the G3 Beat is pretty cool. It has a 1.3 megapixel camera, which is more than enough, honestly. As you can see, there's even some delay in the camera's feedback. It has like a low FPS. On the other hand, it does have some beautification thing, which makes me look really pretty, so that counts for it. The video quality out of both the front and back cameras is pretty impressive, especially the audio capture. It's one of the crispest and most clear audio I've ever heard out of a smartphone, let alone a mid-range, non-flagship device. I was honestly blown away by the pure, undistorted quality that's recorded, and I honestly would consider using this as a microphone device for just simply recording interviews. The software performance on the G3 Beat was kind of a mixed bag. In areas it was really snappy and responsive, in other areas it was honestly very laggy and frustrating. For example, usually when opening the task manager, it would take a while to load, as you can see, and then sometimes it would tell me no apps were running until it loaded all the apps. It was really hit and go with the software performance itself. While the main home screen never actually did lag on me, it seemed that the lag was mostly in the browser and the multitasking. In terms of gaming performance, the LG G3 Beat did really well. It didn't really lag or have poor quality games, but randomly it would stutter and give me some trouble while playing the game. It would be really random and isn't really reproducible. However, in general, the Adreno 305 GPU did more than enough to keep the games going. However, unfortunately, the G3 Beat only has 8GB of onboard storage, and given Android KitKat's new changes where apps can't be installed directly on the microSD card, and instead they have to be installed on the phone and then migrated to the microSD card, that severely limits the amount of games you can download and install. For example, even though I have almost 4GB free on my SD card, I can't download any more games because they have to be installed on the phone first, and continue to take up space on the phone even after they're moved away. The battery performance on the G3 Beat was pretty acceptable. It has a 2540 mAh battery that easily gets you through your workday and then a couple more hours after you get home. If you're a light user, you can easily get a day or more out of the phone. However, if you're a heavy user with constant 3G connection and gaming and whatnot, you will probably have to charge as soon as you get home. So all in all, the G3 Beat is a really cool phone. It has some really nice features that you usually wouldn't find in a mid-range phone, like the laser autofocus, an excellent screen even though it's only 720p, and the rear-facing buttons are all premium touches brought down to a lower price point. However, it does have some obstacles in its way, like the poor software performance with occasional lags and the limited memory. However, given that it's priced at around $300 to $350, and I'm sure you can find it cheaper elsewhere, you can easily consider this device as a mid-range contender. So, if you're actually considering getting a mid-range LG or Android device in general, I would consider checking out the G3 Beat first and giving it an honest look for, especially with the excellent camera performance from both the front and rear-facing cameras. So that's what I thought of the G3 Beat. What did you guys think about it? What do you look for in a mid-range phone? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.